Hmm. It has started. So Rajvardhan, when he sends, I will check. Now before that, I would like to ask the class. Can somebody take this responsibility of writing down everything that we are discussing today in a notebook? Can somebody write down?
Yes,
Again, it
sir.
will be very hard to find a student in your class.
Yes, sir.
Who said yes, sir?
Yes,
Who is
sir.
doing?
Pujit.
Pragya. Pujit. Okay. So Pujit, note down in your notebook or on any paper. First thing, first question is, because perhaps I took up your class a little late. Earlier, you have already completed some lessons with the other teacher who taught you. So, yes, some lessons were prepared, finished before I started teaching your class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Now, now the thing is, very soon we are going to have examination. We may call it quarterly examination or we may call it half-yearly examination, but very soon we are going to have that. Okay. So, for the purpose of examination, I would like to know how many lessons we are already done with, how many poems we have already done, and what more is needed to be prepared or to be finished before examination. Okay. So, Rajvardhan, who is writing? Pujit. Pujit, from your
Yes,
textbook,
sir.
start reading the names of lessons and poems that we have already completed. Either we have completed or already completed in your class.
Yes, sir. First chapter. The fun they had.
Okay.
The road not taken.
Hmm.
The sound of music. Both parts. Wind. The little girl. Rain on the roof. A truly beautiful mind. The snake and the mirror. A legend of the motherland. My childhood.
Northland.
No man are foreign. And packing. And reach for the top.
ठीक है. Did he miss any lesson? I'm asking other students.
Sir, the snake and the mirror are is removed from the revised syllabus.
Deleted. Okay.
Yes.
Huh. But the names of lessons that he has mentioned or poems that he has mentioned, did he miss anything that has been completed in the class and he forgot to tell?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So, Pujit, you can write down all these names of lessons and poems on a piece of paper, take a photograph and send it to me on my personal WhatsApp number. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So that I can also check it once. Now the thing is, some of the lessons have been removed according to the updated syllabus. So if in this list any such lesson is there, remove that name also. That needs
Yes,
not to be
sir.
included. Okay. So when you write it down, what is the number? How many lessons are there? 7, I suppose.
Sir, 7 lessons. Sir, 8 lessons,
7, no?
except
But
poem.
one is deleted. How many poems?
Sir, 7 poems.
Okay, fine. So that is enough. Enough for this exam. Maybe we'll need less than that because I will have to cross check with the other section also. What
Sir,
is the
five
status of
poems.
other section? Okay. So today I shall discuss with madam teaching in the other section and then we shall finalize how many lessons, how many poems are to be taken. Okay. Then other than this, we need to have reading section, we need to have grammar section, we need to have writing section. Okay. So what in reading section? Reading section, definitely there will be one unseen reading comprehension. In grammar, you will get integrated exercise. Do you understand what is integrated exercise?
Yes, sir.
Nakul knows. And what about others?
Yes,
What
sir.
about others? Ratika also no. ठीक है. Two students in your class know what is integrated grammar exercise. Others don't. Do one thing. Write in chat box. If you know integrated grammar exercise, what is it? Write Y for yes. If you don't know, write N for no. Myra knows. Okay. Mukund Meena doesn't know. Hemant doesn't know. Yashika doesn't know. Shyam doesn't know. Rest everybody knows. Akshara also doesn't know. Gunika also doesn't know. Okay. In class 8th examination, what kind of questions were asked in grammar? Did you have any editing, omission, or gap filling kind of question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what do you know about editing? What kind of things were there, or what was asked in editing exercise? Can somebody tell?
Sir, there was a paragraph. We have to find the
Okay.
errors and correct them.
In each line. There was a paragraph
Sir.
of 4-5 lines, and there was one error in each line. You were expected to find that error and correct it. One word was wrong, and you were
Yes.
supposed to correct that word. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What do we call it? What do we call it? We call it editing.
Correction.
Error finding or editing. है ना? Okay. Now, did you get one more kind of question where there was some omission? Omission.
No, sir.
Let me tell what is it. Then perhaps you will be able to recall that this kind of questions were there. There was a paragraph of some 4-5 lines, and in each line, somewhere there was one word missing. There was no blank space. You do not know where that word is missing, but there was one word missing somewhere in each line. You just have to find out, you just have to pick which place is that, where that word should be and which is missing. You simply had to write in front of that line one word before that, one word after that, and the missing word. Did you get this type of question in 8th class?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
One is saying yes, one is saying no.
Yes, sir. Got.
One more is saying yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अभी याद आ रहा है. अभी याद आ रहा है ना? आ जाएगा, याद आ जाएगा. आपको याद आ जाएगा. It was there. Okay. So this is called omission. In a paragraph, there may be 4 lines, maybe 5 lines, maybe 3 lines, and in each line there is a word missing. When we read that, we need to just think about it. We may find out that here in this line, one more word should be there, and that word has to be written for an answer. This is called omission. One word has been omitted while writing that paragraph in each line. You just have to pick that. Okay? We'll do some practice here in the class. Now, third thing was gap filling. In gap filling, there is a paragraph, and in each, not in each line, anywhere in that paragraph, the missing word is there. You are given space and you just have to fill that blank space. Means in omission you do not know where the word is missing. In gap filling, you know where that word is missing. This is the difference in omission and in gap filling. And both kind of questions were there in your class, in class 8.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Then there was jumbled sentences, rearranging words and making a meaningful sentence.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
get that kind of exercise?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, yes, good. Now tell me, when you did omission or when you did editing or when you did gap filling or when you did jumbled sentences, were those questions based on one particular topic of grammar?
No, sir.
No. No question was based on one specific topic, either determiners or tenses or voices or narration or something like that. But these questions included everything at the same time. In an editing exercise, in first line, the error might be of tenses, and in the second line, the error that you picked up that you found could be of verb forms or of the use of determiners or maybe of the wrong use of prepositions or maybe some connector, something like that. So in one exercise, in 4-5 lines, all 4-5 things were different. Was it like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If it was like that, if it was like that, means one exercise or one question was not based on one topic of grammar, but it included many topics. Because
Yes.
grammar, or when we use language while talking to somebody, we do not use one particular thing at a time. When you are making a statement, when you are speaking something, when you're telling something, when you're writing something, in that same statement you need to take care of so many things. You need to be aware of the correct uses of so many things. Usage of so many things means there may be a determiner used in a statement, there may be a pronoun used in a statement, there may be a helping verb used in a statement, then there will be a verb in that statement, some nouns in that statement. There are so many things. Now, when you make that statement, you need to keep in your mind that if there is a determiner, if there is a preposition, if there is a model, if there is a helping verb, if there is a main verb, if there is a tense, if there is use of narration, all that should be right. Okay? So when questions are framed with this practical functional approach, you understand? Practical approach, functional approach, because these are the things that we commonly use. It is not that one statement is given and you are asked to fill correct preposition in that or correct determiner in that. It's not like that. There will be some mistake of error, mistake of determiner or preposition or some other topic. You just have to find it out and write. So all is included at one place. This is the integration of all the topics, all the functions of English or your language, you can say, and asked in one exercise. That is why we call them integrated exercise. Is it clear now to everyone? What is
Yes.
integrated grammar exercise?
Yes, sir.
Now, if it is clear, write Y. If it is still not clear, write no. N. Don't say. Write in the chat section. Nilay, are you there?
Yes, sir.
If you see any no, any N in the chat section, just tell me.
Yes,
Because these are all quickly passing and I saw all Y's. Means all yes, all
there is
understood.
no N. So there's no N
No
in the
N.
chat
Okay.
section.
There is no no. There is no no. है ना? Okay. Good. So I conclude that everybody understood what an integrated grammar exercise is. Very nice. Now, before this examination, whenever it is scheduled, whenever it is planned, it will be conveyed. Before this examination, we would like to do few things. Literature part, we have done enough. So now we can stop here with literature and we can start talking about grammar and writing section. Reading comprehension, nothing to talk. For practice sake, I will give you some comprehension passages to do, to solve them and send back to me. Okay, in an assignment I'll give 1 or 2 reading comprehension exercise that you can solve and your answers may be scanned and sent to me. Can we do it in one day? Yes, why not? How many unseen passages? How many unseen passages shall I send to be completed in one day? 1 or 2 or 3 or 4?
Sir,
How many can
sir,
you do?
2.
2 you can do in one day.
2.
This is Nakul's idea that 2 paragraphs, 2 reading comprehension exercise can be done in one day. Do all agree? Do all believe that 2 can be done in a day, or somebody believes 3 can be done, 4 can be done, or somebody thinks only 1 can be done? Right number. How many reading comprehension passages can you do in an exercise, in an assignment in a day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever number you can do, you can write. Shubham has written 3. Rest everyone is writing 2. Nakul has set a standard of saying by saying 2, and everybody is sticking to that standard. Good, no problem. If you can do 2 in a day, that is also a very good thing. Fine. Everybody wrote 2. 1 or 2 students did not write anything, and 1 student wrote 3. Good. I will give 1. I won't give 2. I give 2 a possibility, 2 in 2 days. For one day, I'll give you 1 only. But that 1 should be done properly, honestly. Do not continue with your old habit, previous habit of just trying to find an answer from one particular point, from one particular place to another particular place, and simply copying the statement as it is in your answer. Read the passage, try to understand it. That is what we mean by comprehension. Try to interpret the message in that paragraph or in that passage extract, and then understand the questions properly. Then try to write an answer to the questions asked in your own language. It is not always very appropriate to simply start writing from one particular point, one particular place from your passage, and writing as it is, wherever, till where you believed, till where you felt that it should be the answer, or answer should be somewhere in this. Okay. Let me repeat. When you write an answer for reading comprehension, your answer shouldn't be with an approach that the answer to the question asked should be somewhere here in this. So I have written from here to here, and there must be answer here. You find out. You are expected to write the correct answer. Okay. Now, as you are students of class 9, it is very important that your answer should be accurate, to the point. If you just write this much and you believe that answer is there somewhere in it, and actually answer is there in it, it's right. There may be answer over there only, somewhere in those lines that you wrote. But in those lines, if I am expected to find out the answer that yes, here somewhere the answer is, and the portion that you have picked from the passage is okay, answer was there, and marks should be given, I will not give marks. Okay. I'll give marks only if you wrote the exact, appropriate, correct answer. Yes, there is a possibility that the answer is needed to be written in the language that was exactly there in the passage. I'm not asking you to change it every time. Sometimes the answer should be in the same language, same statement should be written here. But it should be to the point, appropriate, from here to here. This is the answer. Or if you are changing the language, only what is asked must be written. If you write something as a whole, which means you did not understand the question. And if you did not understand the question, there is no possibility, no scope of knowing and understanding the answer. So for making a guess, you will not get marks. For an appropriate answer, you will get full marks. We are talking about reading comprehension. Take reading comprehension seriously. This is a very important aspect of language learning, one thing. And if I talk on your examination point of view, there again it is very important. If I talk about competitive examinations of bigger, higher levels, again reading comprehension is very, very important. Okay. So when you do reading comprehension, purpose of simply finding an answer. Okay. If I could make my point clear, right? Okay. Now my okay also. Most of you have written. Second thing. Second thing is grammar. Can you hear this noise from outside?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आ रहा है? अच्छा, क्या करें? बंद कर दें विंडो? तब भी आएगा थोड़ा तो. चलो. How many topics are to be covered? I will have a discussion with madam and then we shall finalize and discuss those topics. As far as writing section is concerned, one thing is always there in 9th and 10th class, and that is short story writing. Okay. One more thing is always there in 9th class, and that is a formal letter, especially a letter to editor. Have you done any of these things in previous class?
Yes, sir.
Short story
Sir.
writing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very nice. And have you written letters to editors also?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So when you write a letter to the editor of a newspaper, what is your purpose of writing? Why do you write a letter to the editor? What is your objective when you write that letter? Can someone tell?
That when they publish their problem in paper, then someone who is more powerful can help them, just like municipal corporation.
Okay. Good. Would somebody else like to add something to it?
Sir, Sir, to print our article.
Okay. Your article means you have written something, you have some idea which you wish to share with others also, and so you write that, you send it to the editor of newspaper, and you expect him to publish that in a newspaper. Okay, fine. So two things are told. Janvi said that there may be some problem, there may be some social problem, common problem, societal problem. In the society, there is some problem. There may be some problem of infrastructure. The common people, the residents of your area, your locality are facing some, they all have some complaint, they are facing some problem. And you are not able to find a solution to that. You keep on writing to, you keep on talking to the concerned authorities, to the departments, still no solution is found. Then finally you decide to write about that problem to the editor of a newspaper. The purpose is that he will publish about that problem, about that issue in his newspaper. And when it is published in the newspaper, it will definitely be read by many.
Yes.
It will definitely be read by the concerned authorities or the concerned departments, or maybe the bigger political leaders or the ministers. So this issue reaches to those. According to Janvi's statement, to provide a wider reach, wider approach to your issue, to your problem, you write this letter to the editor and you tell about your issue, and he publishes it in the newspaper, and then it goes to people. It reaches many. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now
sir.
another thing that the other student was telling one more thing, and that is also very, very good thing, that we write letters to editors because we want to tell them one thing. What? Something that you have in your mind. Okay. You may have some opinion about something that is currently going on. Sometimes there are some very big issues in the society and you have ideas about it. And you want to share that idea with a larger, bigger number. But you cannot directly speak to many people. You believe if everybody knows about this, if everybody understands this, if the awareness is spread about it, then it will be beneficial, it will be helpful to everyone. You believe this. But you have a limitation. You have a limitation. You cannot send it to everyone. Then you write it to the editor, he publishes it in his newspaper, and when it is read by many people, that awareness is spread. So this is another purpose. Have I made the second purpose clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good, good. So it is also clear to everyone. Now these are the reasons why we write letters to editor. Now tell me, when you write such letters to the editors of some newspaper, can we call that letter formal letter or is it an informal letter?
So formal.
Formal.
A formal letter.
Letter.
Okay, it's a formal letter. Okay, okay. Why do you think it's a formal letter?
Sir, because we have to write limited
Because
things.
we are sending this letter
One by one, one by one, one by one.
official
Let Nakul finish first. Beta, one student should speak at a time. If two students speak, it's hard to understand. Okay, so speak
Sir,
one by one.
because
I'm happy. Huh.
sir, because we have to write limited things in it.
When you write, you are bound to hold yourself in some limitations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What was Janvi saying? Janvi, complete your sentence statement. What were you saying? चली गई.
Sir, it is a business letter.
Letter to editor is not a business letter, beta. It's not a business letter. Has Janvi joined
We
back?
have to write it in a formal way.
Yes, sir.
हाँ बेटा, continue.
Yes, sir. Sir, because we are sending letter for an official and social work.
If you say this is an official letter, fine, okay. Can there be some other cause of calling it a formal letter? Chalo. What is a formal letter or what is an informal letter? What is the basic difference? If we need to discuss that, there is a simple thing. For a formal letter, we use a formal language. We use a formal, fixed, pre-decided pattern. We need to stick to this. We don't have a freedom of writing anything out of the format provided, out of the structure that is pre-decided. You may have so many things in your mind, you may feel so many things, but when you write, you need to, as Nakul was also saying, there are some limitations. So when a very formal language is used, and when we say formal language, what does it mean? There are some standard words, there are some standard statements which decide your way of speaking, your way of dealing. And when you're writing an informal letter means when you're writing it to some of your friend or your family member, you generally do not take care of the size or length. You do not take care of the kind of statements or words used. You do not follow any limitations. Whatever you have in your heart, in your mind, you express that. You do not fix a pattern and follow that. Whereas in formal letters, it is needed, it is required. So, there is a limit of words or length. There is a limit of ways of writing. There is a limit, or you can say there is a protocol of finishing, how it should be finished. You should thank the person who you are writing to. And why do you thank, by the way? You thank because you've written that letter, to some authority. And that authority has given time, has spared time of getting your letter, picking your letter, reading it. Now, required action will be taken or not, that's a different thing. That's a future thing. But because that authority, that person has picked your letter, received your letter, took your letter and read it. So we thank him for this. This is the reason why we thank, and that's needed. Then when we close, we again in a very formal way use words like sincerely, truly. So why do we use this kind of words? Again, this is a formal way, formal expression. When we start, again there is a protocol. Whoever you are writing to, the designation of that person should be written in with the, followed by the. So already 3:16. Your class runs up to
Sir, 3:10.
3:10. We have
Yes,
already
sir.
exceeded time. Chalo, I did not see the time and so I continued. Okay, fine. Nakul, stop recording and we can leave the class after saying Sai Ram.